So you can check the YouTube live streaming. You can check.
Okay, sir. For the waiting, and I will check.
Yeah. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasva Dhimahi धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasva Dhimahi धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्. So till yesterday we were studying this IMDG code. The contents we saw, there is two volumes, volume 1 and volume 2, and the supplement. So volume 1, part 1 has general provisions, definitions, training, classification, packing and tank provisions, consignment procedure, construction and testing of packing, intermediate bulk containers, large packing, portable tanks, road tank bag. Provisions concerning transport operation. So when we are transporting, what are the requirements? In volume 2, so here if you see the part 3 is not there. The part 3 is in volume 2, which is the main dangerous goods list. What are the list of dangerous goods, which has 18 columns, and the limited quantities, exceptions, if it is carried in a limited quantity. Then the dangerous goods list is the central core of the IMDG code and presents information on the transport requirements for all dangerous goods in a coded form. Then, so what all things are there in the supplements? So as I told you, part 3, volume 2 is the main core of IMDG code. It has all the list of all the cargoes which are to be transported, the requirements for all the dangerous goods, सारे dangerous goods क्या क्या कार्गोज की पूरी लिस्ट है, उसकी रिक्वायरमेंट्स है, ट्रांसपोर्ट रिक्वायरमेंट्स, वो सब इसमें दी हुई है. Okay. Then in the supplement is for emergencies, medical first aid guide, for any reporting procedures regarding that cargo, or IMO, ILO, or UN number for packaging transport unit. So there is a generic list in the end in the supplement for referring. So if you want to search a cargo by name, you can search in this list in the UN number for packing cargo transport units. Then recommendations of safe use of pesticides in ship. So pesticides are also some dangerous chemicals, but you have to use. So what precautions or recommendations you should do. Then INF code, irradiated nuclear fuel, international code for safe carriage of packaged irradiated nuclear fuel. So this nuclear fuel is also very dangerous, very harmful vibrations if it is leaked. But it is very powerful and it generates a lot of power. So that also you should have idea about, which we will study. Okay. Then plutonium and high-level radioactive waves on board ships. Classes of dangerous goods are, so we studied the 10 classes explosive and their subclasses. And then class 2 is gases. So it's as per the danger order: flammable gases and non-flammable gases, toxic gases, flammable liquids, flammable solids which are self-reactive, so subparts of class 4. Then Class 5 oxidizing substances and organic peroxides, which have their own dangers to reduce oxygen in the place wherever they are loaded. And toxic and infectious substances, radioactive material, corrosive substances, miscellaneous, dangerous substances and articles. The numerical order of the classes and division is not of the degree of danger. So, class 9 does not mean most danger, but to some extent, the first 3, 4 you will find in a kind of, because if a danger, because if explosive burn, it will create a bigger havoc. Then if a flammable gas explodes, because gas can reach to longer distances, so it will be a bigger explosion, then liquid will be less, then solid will be less. So because seeing the first 4 5, we can say, assume that it is in the order of danger, but ideally it is not so. Radioactive material have their own danger, infectious material have their own danger, toxic substances have their own danger, corrosive substances have their own danger, and then ninth is miscellaneous, 10th is marine pollutant. Marine pollutants have their own danger. So first few are in the line of danger criteria, but not all of them. And then there is a marine pollutant classified in accordance with chapter 2.9. There is a special chapter on marine pollutant that we will see sometime. Okay. Okay, let's continue. So these are the symbols for each class. Where is it? Yeah. So class 1 explosive, you will see it will be written explosive, till the class number will be written, and there will be a mark like crackers or burning or something like that. In class 2.1, flammable gases, so it's something like a gas is burning red, very dangerous. Gas is very dangerous. Acetylene, and class number is written. Flammable gas is written. Then non-flammable gas, green, toxic gas. So anything flammable is red. Flammable liquids, red, class 3. Flammable solids, red with stripings. Because it's a solid, so it will always take more time, so it's less dangerous. Then 4.3 is a part of dangerous solid, flammable solids or dangerous solids when they are wet. Oxidizing substances, organic peroxides, yellow, medium danger, toxic substances, harmful to health, radioactive light substances, dangerous, uranium, plutonium, class 7, radioactive substances, hydrochloric acid, danger groups, packaging groups. There are 3 packaging groups as per the danger. Packaging group 1 for the most dangerous cargo, packaging group 2 for medium dangerous cargo, and packaging group 3 for minor danger cargo. IMDG cargoes, the dangerous goods class. The document required for carriage of IMDG are, so as this is where we have to start today. So IMDG code, if you're carrying any dangerous goods, first you should have the information for that cargo, which you will get from shipper directly. हम कोई भी हम कार्गो कैरी कर रहे हैं, ये नॉर्मल हम दुकान पे हार्पिक या फिनाइल एसिड वगैरह लेने जाते हैं. So if you go to the market to get any dangerous chemical, harpic or cleaning material, with that you get like a MSDS or information what are the contents, danger, something like that. Same way for shipping, you are loading cargoes in thousands and lakhs of tons. So you should have a proper information of its properties, dangers, and what to do in emergency. That will be in shipper declaration. What are the main dangerous properties, main properties, dangerous properties, and its particular size, name, UN number, and then who is the receiver, who is the shipper, who is the owner of the cargo, and all the precautions what to do in case of emergency, fire, spill. Then document of compliance. So document of compliance states that when you're loading this IMDG cargo dangerous goods, your ship is complying with all the rules regulations. सारे शिप पे सारे रूल्स रेगुलेशन फॉलो हो रहे हैं IMDG के, तो उसके बेस पे डॉक्यूमेंट ऑफ कंप्लायंस मिलेगा. फिर एक होता है डेंजरस गुड्स मैनिफेस्ट. इन डेंजरस गुड्स मैनिफेस्ट इज लाइक अ स्टोरेज और लोडिंग प्लान where whatever dangerous cargo you are loading, it will be there. Suppose you are a container ship and you have a bay plan. Most of the containers are normal general safe containers. There are few containers which has got IMDG cargo. So for the containers which have IMDG cargo, there will be a dangerous goods manifest, will be same as the bay plan or storage plan of this, same like that. But in that containers, what danger cargo is there, that will be mentioned, and what are the precautions or segregation to be taken in mind for loading that cargo, that will be there in the dangerous goods manifest. And also, because of that, you need some custom permission, port permissions. So those documents, shipper declaration, all this will be attached along with the dangerous goods manifest. So dangerous goods manifest is like a storage plan with all the dangerous cargo listed, where it is, what cargo it is, what class it is, all those things. So what is the objective of IMDG code? Basically to form rules and regulation ताकि हमारा cargo जो है वो safe रहे. Enhance the safety carriage of dangerous goods by all modes of transport. Facilitate free and unrestricted movement. Bring worldwide uniformity in the carriage regulations. So once you have a standard information, that's why it's an international maritime danger. Once you have standard information on what are the precautions, restrictions, and what packaging, transportation we need for each cargo in international, and everybody can follow the uniform rules. So bring worldwide uniformity in their carriage regulations, prevent injury to personnel. So nobody should get injured. If they get, then what medical aid you have to give. Prevent damage to ship under cargo. So if there's a spill, there's a fire, how to prevent that, or what action to take if something happens. That's why you have the supplement. Regulate the carriage of marine pollutants so as to prevent damage to the marine environment. So marine pollutant, if it is a very heavy, high degree marine pollutant, you should carry in very small quantities. So there will be accepted quantities or limited quantities, as we discussed before. In where it will be in volume part 3, volume 2, dangerous goods list. Then there is something called shipper declaration. Shipper means who is shipping the cargo. The सेलर ऑफ द कार्गो, जो कार्गो बेच रहा है, जो कार्गो शिप कर रहा है, जो कार्गो भेज रहा है एक पोर्ट से दूसरे पोर्ट. तो एक्सपोर्टर जी बोल सकते हैं जिसको. तो वो क्या करेगा, कार्गो की पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन देगा, जिसको बोलते हैं शिपर डिक्लेरेशन. डेंजरस गुड्स के सारे कार्गो की इंफॉर्मेशन देगा, और वो पूरे ऑथेंटिक लीगल होने चाहिए, चेक करा के सारा डेटा लाइक मॉइस्चर, टेम्परेचर, एवरीथिंग. The legislation requires a declaration form from the consignor or the shippee, stating that the goods declared are classified and packed correctly, and also a declaration from the person packing the container that it has been done so correctly. These are dangerous goods declaration and the container packing certificate. These declarations may be in any format but must be in accordance with the regulations of the IMDG code, chapter 5.4. An example is given below. Often the dangerous goods declaration is combined with the container packing certificate into one document, generally known as the multimodal dangerous goods form. So this dangerous goods declaration is combined with container packing certificate, and it is known as the multimodal dangerous goods form. These documents can also known as dangerous goods note or dangerous goods declaration, multimodal dangerous goods form, shipper declaration, and dangerous cargo declaration. Why? Because your containers or dangerous goods are going from maybe a truck to a train or trailer, and then going in the port waiting for some time, then going on the ship, then again going on some trailer or road or transport or something. So everywhere this dangerous goods will be manufactured. That's why it is also called multimodal dangerous goods form. So क्या क्या होगा उसमें? What all information you will have in shipper declaration? Obviously, first, who is the shipper, his name and address. Then who is the consignee, the receiver of the cargo, what his name and address. Then what are the dangerous goods in that in sequence. So whatever dangerous goods are there, their details, their UN number, then their proper shipping name, including the technical name. So there is a shipping name which we use for shipping, and there is a technical name which is used by technical research teams, technical research, scientific term, and then there is a generic index. In different countries called different, so we have a UN number, and there is a generic index where general name is there also. Primary IMO class, secondary, and tertiary class. So there are three classes of IMO: primary, secondary, and tertiary. And as we saw, there are three types of packaging group as per danger steps: packaging group 1, 2, and 3. Information which supplements the proper shipping name in the dangerous goods description, if applicable. So in the shipper description, we will also have how the what is the level of packing group your cargo needs. Then its technical name, not otherwise specified, or other generic descriptions. Then empty, unclean packagings, but bulk containers and tank. So if there whatever packing you have done of the cargo, if the cargo is removed, what will you will do with the empty packings or empty containers, and whatever waste is generated, elevated temperature substances. So if any temperature substances are left on board, then marine pollutants, if any cargo is marine pollutant or not. Flashpoint, mass, kg, gross, net. In addition to the dangerous goods description, the following information shall be included after the dangerous goods description on the dangerous goods transport document. Total quantity of dangerous goods. This includes the weight in kilos of each substance as well as the number and type of packaging. Also to be included, if applicable, limited quantities, as I told you. Some cargoes, if they are more dangerous, you can ship in only small quantities or limit. What is the limit of the quantity of the cargo? Salvage packaging. Salvage means some container or something or a ship, anything which is in the sea and you have to kind of rescue or recover it back. Suppose a rig platform is in the sea and it is in a condition it cannot move on its own, it's just staying there. So you have to salvage it, take it out from the problem, and then take it to a safe place, maybe for repair or something. So in case of containers, some container is gone in the sea, so it will deteriorate fast if the packaging is not proper. So salvage packaging, so packaging should be strong enough to sustain for at least 3 months, 6 months. Substances stabilized by temperature control. So reefer containers for some substance which need controlled temperature, that is will be included in the shipper declaration. How much temperature you need, what temperature you have to maintain for that cargo. Control and emergency temperature. So normal temperature, what you have to keep for that cargo, and in case of emergency, there is some reaction, self combustion, something like that. How much maximum temperature you can hold with that cargo. Then aerosols. What is aerosol? The capacity of an aerosol is above 1000 ml. This shall be declared. So this aerosol expanding liquids like your cold drinks or something, effervescing liquids, they should be declared if they are in bigger quantity than 1000 ml or 1 liter. Dangerous goods being transported have been packed, labeled, and declared in accordance with standard international shipping regulation (IMDG). So it will be written that we are following all the IMDG code and all the precautions and requirements written in that we are following while transporting on the land or on the ship. Segregation of dangerous goods. So these are four types of main segregations which are there in IMDG code. So these are the separations. First one is away from. What is away from? Segregation of dangerous goods carried in package form. This is given in the form of a table stating the type of segregation. So there is a segregation table which you'll see after that, and there in that there will be four types of segregation. One, two, three, four. Away from, separated by a complete compartment of or a hold from, separated longitudinally by a complete compartment or hold from. So, stating the type of segregation required between classes of cargo, excluding class 1, which has an altogether separate table. The terms used for segregation are away from. What do you mean by away from? So, this cargo and this cargo, they are not compatible. They should be away from this shaded cargo and this black cargo, they are not compatible. And this is same cargo. So, how much should be the distance between them? At least 3 meters. If effectively segregated so that the incompatible goods cannot interact dangerously in the event of an accident but may be transported in the same compartment or hold or on deck provided a minimum horizontal separation of 3 meter projected vertically is obtained. So basically this horizontal distance between this cargo and this cargo which are not compatible, you should be at least 3 meters. Then separated from. So in different compartments or hold when stored under the deck. So if it is stored under the deck, like here in the hold, so it's better to have a like a twin deck or a partition in the different compartment. So it has to be in different compartment, either in different holds or different compartments. When stored under deck, provided intervening deck is resistant to fire and liquid, a vertical separation that is in different compartments may be accepted as equivalent to the segregation. For on-deck storage, this segregation means the separation by a distance of at least 6 meters horizontally. So if you're storing on deck, you need a 6 meter distance, and in the ship, you have the partition or a different hold. Generally, you have a different hold. Don't have partitions in big ships. Some small cargo ships they have partitions, like we saw in containers they wrote here that separated by a complete compartment or hold from. So in between there is a complete compartment or hold like this. So this cargo and this cargo they are not compatible, and in between under the deck there is a complete compartment. And on deck it's already separated by a compartment, and there has to be a horizontal distance of at least 12 meters. So either vertical or horizontal separation if the intervening decks are not resistant to fire and liquid, then only a longitudinal separation that is by an intervening complete compartment or hold is acceptable. And for on-deck storage, the distance is 12 meters. This segregation means a separation by 12 meters distance horizontally. Same distance has to be applied if one package is stored on deck. So if you have one on another container, you have to have a safe distance between the two containers. Other one is in upper compartment. And last is separated longitudinally by an intervening completely compartment or hold form. Nowadays, many youngsters and people they ask for their own personal room. Same way, here this cargo has to be kept totally separate because it is quite dangerous. So you have to have a in compartment in between, which is not dangerous to this cargo. Vertical separation alone does not meet this requirement. Between a package under deck and one on deck, a minimum distance of 24 meters, including a complete compartment, must be maintained longitudinally. For on deck storage, this segregation means a separation by a distance of at least 24 meters longitudinally. So inside, the distance should be 24 meter with one gap of one uh, compartment should be empty. Then we will see more information. Separated by, away from, separated by a complete compartment or hold form. Okay, so these are the separated by a complete compartment or hold from, same thing, and away from, separated from, complete compartment or hold, separated by an intervening compartment or hold from. So this is the key recent package, incompatible goods package, and deck which is resistance to fire and liquid. So we say we have so many things, but actually how much it works in emergencies we have to see. Vertical lines with transfer watertight bulkheads. For container, the table is the same as above, but the meaning of the above segregation terms is different. For hatch cover type container vessel, the table is again the same, but the meaning of the above segregation terms are different. There is a separate table for Ro-Ro vessel, separate table for segregation vessel, cargo in the bulk, and cargo in packaged form. So you have compatibility table for cargo which is in bulk, that but that will be used in bulk carrier. Here cargo in package form, you only use the containers for explaining and to make whatever notes. Segregation table for class 1 cargo which is compatibility which is by compatibility codes. So we saw that all the classes are there 1 to 10 and they are arranged as per their danger or some compatibility codes which are A, 12, N and S. Precautions while loading, carrying, discharging dangerous goods. So when you have to load, discharge or carry any dangerous goods, then what you will do, you have to put these signs for dangerous goods because there should not be any fire. So first signs are no smoking, no naked lights. Suppose the deck is burning on its own, so you should have no naked lights. It should all be covered and insulated, covered with glass or proper box housing. Fire hoses to be rigged, firemen charged, and other firefighting apparatus kept in constant state of readiness. When this is when you are doing loading, carrying, or discharging goods. No hot work, chipping, painting to be in progress on deck to avoid creating sources of ignition. Flashlights, walkie-talkies, etc. to be intrinsically safe. So you know all we already discussed that all these instruments, lights, and all camera should be intrinsically safe. Then there should be no waste, oil waste in the oily water, and appropriate intent. No bunkering operation is to be carried out during loading, and or discharging. Wireless transmission should not be done on voltage exceeding 50 volts. So this can cause harm to the whatever dangerous goods is there. Maybe if explosive is there and it's creating a spark, then it can catch fire. So you should avoid long voltage calls or any alarms like that. Radar should not be operated during loading or discharging. Forklifts should not be used in the vicinity of dangerous goods. So these are the precautions you have to take when you're loading IMDG code. Loading is to be uploaded. Loading is to be suspended in if inclement of weather threatens. So obviously you have to suspend the loading if there is bad weather. Defective packages should not be accident. So if you find any damage in any container or any cargo, you have to totally return it at the same time. It's not like Amazon, we cannot carry the parcel bag. You have to make a complaint or ask somebody to come and pick up. No, here you have the right. You can return and unaccept it anytime. Port regulation is to be complied. Obviously, you have to comply with all the port regulations to follow the IMDG code. Then 18, explosive must be stored in magazine. So this is a wooden magazine, like a wooden box. So explosive are stored there. It's some mostly seems difficult to catch fire, which is a wood-lined compartment, sometimes specially controlled, constructed to store explosives safely. So before this, generally this type of vessel was used to store the weapons, but now not much. No electric cables should pass through the magazine. And if this is unavoided, the case should be sheathed by an approved sealed non-commercial barrier and tested. Explosives are unstable and when wet and should be stored in a cool, dry, ventilated space away from hot bulkhead or decks. Electrical fittings must be disconnected in compartments containing dangerous goods. So if there is any electrical passing through the container or top or from the side, you have to take the course for seeing what is going in different compartments. And then ventilation fans to the space must be flame proof if not disconnected. So you should the motor of the ventilation fans should be flame proof, spark proof. Explosive must be stored away from living quarters. Obviously, explosive should be as far away from living quarter. Mass must be filled with an efficient lightning conductor as lightning presents a grave danger. So should have protect the masts, crane post mast, main mast from lightning like you have in the temples, the round and sharp structure on the top. So what questions can we ask in brief? The purpose and use of IMDG that we discussed. I send you this PPT, you can check. There are documentation and all those things we should do. What ships must carry IMDG? So as per SOLAS, we know that IMDG code states that ships, irrespective of type and size, carrying substances like harmful substances like IMDG also articles identified in this code as marine pollutants are subject to the provision of this code. What is the reference made to IMDG code in SOLAS? Part A of Chapter 7 of the International Convention of SOLAS, as amended, deals with the carriage of dangerous goods in packaged form. So, who makes IMDG code compulsory? Chapter 7 of SOLAS makes it compulsory. What regulations are included in Part A of Chapter 7? So you have to give the contents. What does Regulation 4 say about documents? What are the documents required? DOC, shipper declaration, dangerous good manifest, all these things. Package. This is the condition. Transport information related to carriage of dangerous goods in package form. And vehicle packing certificate shall be. So if there is a vehicle, should have a certificate for that. If you have a container, should have a certificate and detail of that with the relevant provision of the IMDG code. So who will decide it is relevant to IMDG code or not? The first is main is the IMO whoever is written, and second is you who is studying the IMDG code and shall be made available to the person or organization designed by the port state authority. Each ship carrying dangerous goods in package form shall have a special list, manifest, or storage plan setting for In accordance with the relevant provisions of the IMDG code, the dangerous goods on board and the location thereof, a copy of one of the documents shall be made available before departure to the person or organization designed by the posted authority. Okay, we will do one more question, last question, and we'll discuss something. What is the regulation in respect of reporting in respect of dangerous goods? So, what all we have to report? Whenever you are going or passing through any port, they will ask what is your cargo, what is the UN number, from where to where you are going, and what are the dangers, what danger class it is. So, this is special to so that if they have any emergency, if you are stuck in distress, with their information of your ship, they can come and help you and rescue you. When an incident takes place involving the loss or likely loss overboard of dangerous goods in packaged form into the sea, the master or other person having charge of the ship shall report the particulars of such an incident without delay and to the fullest extent possible to the nearest coastal state. The report shall be drawn up based on general principles and guidelines developed by the organization. So, if there is any event of ship referred to changing to paragraph 1 being abandoned or in the event of a report from such a big ship being incomplete or unobtainable, the company shall, to the fullest extent possible, assume the obligation placed upon the master by its regulation. So, if there is an emergency or something, and the master, there is the book or something is not there, then as per the master, if he thinks he has to abandon the ship or something, he can do, depending considering all the safety. Then you have in Marpur Annex 3 also IMDG, which Annex 3. How is harmful substance defined in Annex 3? So in Annex 3, you have a list, chapter 17 and 18, whatever the harmful substances are there. Okay. Then what are the different types of harmful substances? Like what is the purpose of the analysis to identify them and make a criteria? Short-term aquatic hazard, long-term aquatic hazard, which are further classified. Non-repeat, rapidly degradable surfaces. Non, uh, so there is some like paper or wood. Some things can deteriorate very fast, and some things stay long and they harm the aquatic environment. Rapidly degradable substances like food, substance, flowers, and all substances which adequate chronic toxicity data are not available. So if your substance is uh, has very toxic for a long time, then these substances have to be avoided. So different classes. Yes, subclass 2.2 covers the toxic gas. These are the gases that can be serious injury or death when inhaled. They can be inflammable, corrosive, or oxidizing. Chlorine, such as chlorine, the label contains an image of the black skull over black cross. So if it is anything which is toxic, we saw black skull and black bones crossing. These are the symbols as per the IMDG code. Is there any question now?
So I just want to confirm that this away from separated from all the segregation are planned by the shore or by the chief officers.
No, it will be given and we have to do on the ship. As I told you, no? In container ships, all the planning is mostly final chief officer responsibility, but because of the fast turnover and everything from the CAD CAS system, the planning is coming from the shore. And finally, the chief officer is checking and he will be checking in the lodicator where all these requirements and information, if it is separated from or away from, as per the cargo, is already fitted. But he will just enter the storage plan from the shore. If there is any alarms or something is missing, or he wants to change something manually, as per the rotation, ETA, or and different type of cargo, he can do that. Okay.
Sir,
Okay, sir. And
marine
this
pollution.
IMDG code, sir, is applicable for uh, container ships, ro-ro ships, bulk carrier, which are carrying dangerous goods in packaged and bulk form, right, sir?
Mainly, it is for packaged form. IMDG code is for international maritime dangerous goods in packaged form. So if the cargo is in packaged form, the IMDG code is fully applicable. But it is giving general, like if you take coal, it is giving the hazards of coal and some precautions and everything. So it's an international code anyways. So you can use it recommendedly or on your own for seeing what class of dangers. It depends on what precautions you want to take, or how far, if you're loading many parcels, how you should segregate. That you can use as per will. It's not, uh, nobody will say that it's wrong, but mainly it is for dangerous goods in package form where it is mostly used. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir, marine pollutant come under which class?
Marine pollutant is class 10, no? We just saw. And there is a separate chapter for that, chapter 2. It's giving all the details of marine pollutants, which we will do tomorrow.
And sir, how I will know that I am loading the DG goods?
There is a full list, no? We saw there in volume 2, there is a part 3 of this IMDG where there is a full dangerous goods list. It is has all the cargoes. So you can check in that and you will get a shipper declaration and all those information. And suppose you want to just know by the name, then in supplement of the IMDG code, there is a generic list by the proper shipping name. You search the name, you will get a UN number for that. You go to the dangerous good list, which is as per the UN number, and you will find that cargo. Just suppose you see here. We are going to see it tomorrow, but
Okay,
since you
sir.
asked, we can see dangerous goods list in IMDb. So this is a 19 column list. This is something like this. You see. So the first is a UN number. Then you have a proper shipping name, and then so many precautions, dangers, everything is there. So these are the 18 columns. First is UN number, then proper shipping name, then class, packaging instruction, labeling and marking, documentation required, cross reference. There are some more columns. You see. So you see the class, then what are the hazards? So suppose we take UN number. So environmentally hazardous substance liquid, NOS. It's just a name given. Which class? Class 9. Miscellaneous and environmental hazards. So there will be some hazards. What are the packaging groups? So 3 because it's not so dangerous. Then passenger and cargo aircraft. And this is so labels. Then special provisions, if any special requirement for carrying this cargo. Limited quantity. So there are the codes for limited quantity. How much quantity can you load? Then instruction. Any instructions or precautions for this cargo? Special provisions. What kind of tank or hold space or containers you need? marking and packaging. So what kind of mark like this should be there, packaging. So all the details will be there in the dangerous goods list. So we'll study this in these points tomorrow. Okay. And
Captain sir, one doubt is that sir, if we, this safety shippers declaration is mostly like MSDS, na, sir, of the other cargo like like what
safety, no.
cautions.
You are asking about in the supplement, no? Safe supplement, you have emergency schedule and MFAG, that one.
No, sir, the shipper's declaration is mostly like MSDS of cargo, no, sir? What all
Uh,
actions we need
to,
to take in case of emergency.
to some extent, yes, but not exactly. Because first thing is shipper declaration, shipper is giving. So it has the name of the shipper, who is shipping the cargo and who is taking the cargo, or who is the owner, everything. In MSDS, you don't have this. It's a general uh, danger. For suppose you are carrying coal, then you can have a MSDS for coal. Generally you don't have for solid cargo, but you can have a MSDS for coal in some book, where it will tell it's about calorific value or heat combustion. But then there are so many different kinds of coal: pond coal, sulfur coal, powder coal, coking coal, thermal coal. So which coal you are transporting, and the properties dangers will change as per that. So the shipper declaration is not just a paper. He has to get the sample tested of the cargo which is going to export, get all the detailed report of whatever information we need in the shipper declaration recently, and then put it in the shipper declaration. So it's a recent report on precautions and dangers of the cargo carried latest. Maybe he transported same cargo 6 months back, 2 years back, as per the storage space. It might have different properties. So it's a latest sample analysis of that cargo, including its properties, dangers, moisture content, and any properties and precaution, their precautions or something required during your voyage. But MSDS is general, which will have all the properties and dangers as a general cargo substance, what it is. Okay, with the fire and this thing.
Okay, sir. And after we discharge, we will give the shipper's declaration to the port.
No need to give. It's just the information of the cargo. We don't give it to anybody. You keep it on the ship only.
Okay. After
A copy of it
discharge.
we give in the port papers, but you keep it on ship only.
Okay.
So what type of portable tank, what type of tanks are required, what type of packaging is required, or if you are putting in special container, special provisions. So see, if you're loading in bulk, there is some special provision or some packaging. Still it is in packaging, but in bulk, in large quantity. Code express, hands, hazard is what are the hazards of that cargo. Then the last column, these are 7, 8 columns, and same way there are some more columns. And the last column is again the dangerous goods list. Then you have emergency schedule, MFAG schedule, storage segregation, properties observation, and last column is again the UN number. Okay, so this is the dangerous goods. Okay, anything else? So we can close
No.
for today.
Yes, sir.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate